Hello, thanks for stopping by to watch this video. Today we're going to review my first season racing in cyclocross, and the camera lady, aka Michelle, is going to be asking the questions. And one question you'll all want to know is how she put up with me for 20 years. Nobody knows. So we'll get that one right out of the way. Anyway, Michelle's going to ask some questions and we'll review what I thought and found out and learned in my first season racing cyclocross.
Did you enjoy your first season of cyclocross?
Yeah, I think I enjoyed it overall. Everyone's pretty friendly. I've been around the cyclocross scene for about 6-7 years now. Ben's been racing it, my son. So I knew quite a lot of people already. I've done a lot of photography, but everyone was really welcoming, really helpful with advice and really encouraging. So yeah, I really enjoyed the season and I found it really friendly and easy to get into.
What were your season highs and lows?
So I think highs, I think I did pretty well at racing St Ives. I think that was one of my better races. I died a little bit at the end, but I did enjoy that one. I enjoyed the conditions. Lows, definitely when I injured my shoulder in training at Christmas. That would have made me miss a race. Fortunately for me, it was cancelled, but it certainly affected my performance in the final sort of race that I did. So yeah, that was definitely a big low, and still suffering with that a little bit now.
Out of all the races, which was your favourite and why?
I'm not sure really on a total favourite. I enjoyed Welland in some ways. The long climb was quite hard, but the spiky climb suited me well and I made good progress in that race. I was gridded quite well. I also enjoyed the Colchester race on the really bumpy circuit, the second one, Colchester Bewers. I had crashed on the first lap, but really chased back on and had a good battle racing there for 16th, and that was my best finish, I think. So I did enjoy that race. So I might put that one down as my favourite. I know they're keen to improve the course for next year, so I'm hoping that one definitely is back in the calendar for the 2024-25 season.
How did the expectations you had going into the season compare to reality at the end of the season?
Well, when I started the season, I said I'm just going to do a few races, bit of fun. Ben's racing anyway, so I might as well race, and I'll just race on his bike or on me Ribble cross bike that I've had for a few years, not really set up for cross, use it more as a winter training bike. Complete change after 2 races. I was hooked. Bought a bike, bought a Canyon to race myself, made it more competitive, and yeah, I became quite competitive myself. I wanted to do well in each race and I could see where I could improve. So I definitely got bit by the cross bug. I think it's very easy to do so. You coming new into the racing, it was easy for me to get improvements as such, small improvements each race. And I could see where I could make bigger improvements and where next year hopefully I can make bigger improvements. So yeah, I think the biggest thing for my expectations was I didn't really have much expectation on myself, but I soon put expectations on myself. So yeah, that was the biggest difference, I think.
Who did you find yourself racing against in most of your races?
I think I had quite a few battles with Ian Bray. We always seemed to be quite close. We were really quite close on the start and we had some good battles on. I enjoyed racing against Ian. He was very fair. We'd give each other a bit of room in the corners and we had some great battles. I think I came out on top on a few. He definitely came out on the top on a few towards the end of the season. I was definitely dying off and Ian definitely got stronger. I think if there was some running, I did quite well on those sections, and the punchy sections, I'm a bit lighter than Ian, but on the power courses and where the strength come in, Ian definitely favours those courses. So I look forward to having some battles with him next year. I had a bit of fun with Ed, local club member and friend, and yeah, we had a few battles. Ed had lots of bad luck, unfortunately, but he did get a couple of wins over me, so I think he's pleased with that at the end of the season. But we had some good battles and good banter.
What were your biggest learnings that you can take into next season?
My biggest learning, I think, is that to be smooth is the best thing to learn in cyclocross. If you can keep flowing, just smooth through the corners, so rather than on and off the power, that's the biggest thing that I really need to think about. And also handling through the tight turns, it's almost better to be out of the saddle. You can flick your bike better under you. So that's something I really want to learn how to do better. I did get lots of advice, good advice from Matt Waters, Glenn Davey, Mark Powell, all took time to give me great advice and show me how to do things, which I really appreciate that from people. And again, there's loads of people to give you advice all the time. Watching other people race really helped me. But yeah, definitely loads more to learn. I just couldn't take it all in the first year, and every time I'd race, I'd forget to do things. I'd get my racing head on and then forget that I had to do these little technical things. So yeah, that I need to become natural at them is what Ben says, second nature.
Did you have any specific weaknesses and strengths?
I think one of my biggest weaknesses was definitely clipping in to get a good start. Then I'd go so hard at the start, I'd probably go too hard into some corners and end up crashing. I had quite a few crashes, but Mark Powell did tell me if I wasn't crashing, I wasn't trying hard enough. I think I definitely started trying hard enough. I had some pretty big crashes, definitely on the Milton course. I think I hit about 4 trees that weekend and had a bruised breastbone. So yeah, so that was a definite weakness. And I think I was lacking a bit of stamina and power as the race got on. So once I got into 25 minutes, I just didn't have enough to last me through those sort of bigger efforts. So that's something I need to improve on, really.
What advice would you give to someone thinking of trying cyclocross next year?
Definitely give it a go. It's definitely worth it. Younger, older rider, don't let age put you off. There are people of all abilities in the race. So I'm lapping some people in my race. I'm getting lapped by vet 60s who start 2 minutes after us. Nobody knows where you are when you're riding during the race, and it doesn't matter how good or bad you are. Everybody's there to encourage you, help you on. You're not going to be in the way. Riders will give you room, even the front riders as they come by. Nobody's going to push you off. So definitely give it a go. You can pretty much do it on a fairly basic cross bike to have a go. Be careful though, because you can get hooked. And then, like all cycling, it's a serious money burner if you want it to be. So, you know, if you want to be at the top and be competitive, be prepared to spend the pennies, but you can do it cheap. You can do it, you know, get a second-hand bike, get out on the course, find your local league, have a go.
Do you have any plans for the off-season?
So I'm in Futureventura right now, doing a bit of winter training, getting a bit of winter sun. Just training for Ben for his triathlon season, but we've been doing some cycling, getting some miles in. Rest day today as it happens. I'm planning to do Chase the Sun, June the 22nd, I think it is, 21st, 22nd. That's 200-mile ride across the country, starting in Kent and across to Western. So that's my biggest challenge this year. So I'm going to be getting in lots of zone 2, lots of miles, but I am going to be doing some of that off-road and getting in a lot of technical practice. I really want to improve my stamina, my FTP, get a little bit fitter than I was, a little bit leaner. So yeah, I've got quite a few targets for this year really overall, I think.
And what are your hopes for your second season of cyclocross racing?
Well, I hope that I'm still married after putting in all the training over summer and all the extra effort cycling, because somebody's got to put up with that. But yeah, I want to definitely improve my starts. I want to be at hang on, and I really would like to make a top 10 if I could. That's my real aim. So I'm really going to go after that next year and try and do that. But that's going to be just being fitter, being stronger, and the skills is going to be the biggest thing for me. Without the skills, I won't be able to make it. So I'm really going to be working on that and leaning on some people to get some help with that. So hopefully, yeah, that's my biggest aim really, top 10. I'm going to put it out there that I really want to get a top 10. Whether I will or not, who knows, but it's good to have big ambitions, I think, and that's pretty big ambition. It'll be my last year in Vet 40, so I'll be one of the older competitors, but before I hit Vet 50s, I'd like to hit a top 10.
That's it.
Oh, that's it, we're done. Hopefully you found some of that helpful. I've certainly enjoyed racing against all the racers in the East. Maybe I'll try National League race next year. We will see. That'll be good to give it a go. Hopefully you all have a good off season, and I hope to see you all cyclocross racing next year.